Have you been publishing your book through Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing and starting to wonder where else you should publish your book? Well, in today's video, we're going to talk about how you can reach more readers when you self-publish a book on Amazon, KDP, and beyond. Make sure that you stay tuned to today's video. This is Self-Publishing with Dale, where you learn to publish books that sell and build an unstoppable author brand. And if that resonates with you and you want to learn more about self-publishing, make sure that you subscribe and turn the bell notifications on so you don't miss a single video. And it is a Wednesday night here, 6 p.m. Eastern Daytime in beautiful Columbus, Ohio. So that means that we're doing this as a live broadcast. It's going to be a little looser than normal. If you don't want to miss out on any of these live broadcasts and you want to get the exclusive, no replay question and answer session, you got to come tune in every week, every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Daytime. So today we're going to go ahead and focus on publishing a book on Amazon, KDP, and beyond. And I just want to let you know that you want to make sure that you stay tuned, stick around to the end, because I'm actually going to give you a bonus tip. This bonus tip is going to send your eyebrows. Some of you might know it, but I'm thinking 90% of you might not know it. I'm going to take a gamble here on this one, so make sure that you stick around for that. So I'm going to be Captain Obvious here, folks. Captain Obvious. Amazon is the biggest player when it comes to self-publishing your books. In fact, in publication profits, a lot of it's driven through Amazon itself. And so now that we got that out of the way, let's just assume that most of you that are watching this are publishing through Kindle Direct Publishing in some capacity. And you're probably driving a lot of your income through that avenue. If that's your primary platform, that's great. But one of the things I really try to suggest to a lot of you is to diversify your self-publishing portfolio. Consider some of the options off of the platform, because believe it or not, there are other readers that don't even touch Amazon. In fact, there's even regions throughout the world that don't have Amazon at all. So that's consider some of these other avenues. How do we publish wide though? What do we need to do without endangering our Amazon account? Because yeah, we can publish on other avenues, but we got to be careful about how we do it. And there are certain best practices too to kind of cover your, for lack of better words, your assets. So where else can we publish anyways? So this is what we're going to talk about, other publishing platforms. And I'm not going to go too in depth about it, but I'm going to kind of cover some of those restrictions that we can kind of anticipate. And I want to also cover the three main publishing iterations. We're not going to just talk about ebooks today. Yeah, probably a vast majority of our conversation is going to cover ebooks, but we're going to talk about print books as well as audiobooks. Because again, if we just kind of keep going to Amazon KDP, we're really limiting the amount of readers that we're going to be able to reach. So the very first thing we got to touch on, folks, is the basic rules of ISBNs. That is the International Book Standard Number, and essentially is a product code of some sort. Now, there's a couple of methodologies we can do this. You can own your own ISBN, and that's buying it through Balker here in the United States. Wherever region that you're at, you'll probably purchase elsewhere. Canada, they're able to get free ISBNs, Canadians. I'm gonna see about getting dual citizenship, but ISBNs are nice because what it does is you own the imprint. You own that portion that says, published by, as opposed to this other way, the platform-owned ISBNs. It's free, but technically it comes at a bit of a cost because whoever you got that from has their name on the imprint. So typically, for instance, if you do through Amazon KDP, it says independently published. But back in the day when it was CreateSpace, it used to say CreateSpace independently published, I think, of some sort. And nonetheless, but whoever you're getting the free ISBN from, remember, at the end of the day, that is not yours. So you're kind of put in this position that it's not 100% yours. So you can't just take this ISBN and utilize it in other platforms. You can't take a KDP ISBN and publish it, they say, through Ingram Spark or go to Lulu and use that, because they're going to go, no. That's not your property. You can't bring that over here. And vice versa, if you get, say, an ISBN created through Lulu, you can't just take that ISBN and put it over on KDP. They're going to be like, you don't own that. So that's probably one of the benefits of owning your own ISBN, in that you can just have one publication iteration underneath one ISBN that you can produce widely out there. The other limitation, and I'm just going to briefly cover this, is brick and mortar distribution. You're a bit more limited when you're taking some of the imprints that are owned by Amazon. Now, Keith Wheeler Books, good friend here of the channel and also part of the Dynamic Do on Wednesdays, Keith actually is one of those exceptions to the rule. He actually got out there, hit the pavement, went to brick and mortar stores, and was able to get his Amazon ISBN imprinted books over into those stores. And so it is possible to do that, but your odds of getting in there are greatly diminished by not owning that imprint. So the next thing you need to be very aware of is avoid duplicate publishing. You're going to find, and I'm going to suggest some of these avenues here in just a minute, that they have similar distribution. There's some crossover. For instance, if you publish on Amazon and then you publish through Ingram Spark, you're going to want to deselect the Amazon avenue underneath Ingram Spark, and you won't want to utilize expanded distribution on KDP, because who fulfills the expanded distribution on KDP print? Ingram Content Group, who owns Ingram Spark. And naturally, if we already have that, so you see the dilemma that we're running into. So if you're publishing on Ingram Spark and you do it on Amazon, make sure that you're not duplicate publishing. Now, naturally, if you have the same ISBN on those, there shouldn't be an issue with duplicate publishing. But nonetheless, it could be another example with, say, Draft2Digital and PublishDrive both distribute to Google Play. You don't want to have both of those distributing to Google Play, because you're going to have two of the same book with different ISBNs on it, and Google Play won't be too happy with you doing that. So just duplicate publications, stay clear of that. It can be a real issue. Let's start it out with ebooks. All right, so this is probably going to be the bulk of our conversation, but you're going to want to make sure you hang out. Again, I got a cool bonus tip you all going to be liking here. Ebooks. We're going to start with just kind of focusing on KDP in general. We're going to focus on that area. KDP Select, as some of you may be aware of, is a program to where you enroll your ebook in, and it agrees to exclusivity on the Amazon platform. So when you check that off, for the 90 days that you're enrolled, you cannot publish that ebook elsewhere. Now, disregard print or audiobook. You can publish those elsewhere while the KDP Select program is enabled on a particular publication. That's totally cool. And also remember, just as a heads up, is with ebooks on the KDP Select program, if you do not deselect it, it will auto-renew. So that means the 90 days will keep rolling until you otherwise deselect it or ask them out. Nonetheless, so we got that all out of the way. This limits distribution of electronic books for 90 days. General rule, a lot of people always ask me, okay, I'm enrolled in KDP Select, when do I switch over? When's a good time for me to do this? Now, this is a general rule. I'm just going to throw this out here. Most times you're paid per page flipped when you're enrolled, and it's about roughly less than half a cent, about 0.004 cents. It just kind of fluctuates from time to time. So anytime someone checks it out, they're flipping through your book, you're getting paid per page flipped. Ideally, let's say your book is $2.99 when somebody buys it. Okay, when somebody buys this is not KDP Select, you're probably pocketing right about $2 per sale with a 70% royalty, just $2 and some change. So in order for us to actually get that much through page flips, we have to flip through about 500 pages per day in order to equal that $2. So as a general rule, think about the number of sales that you're having for a particular ebook and try to equate that to the number of page flips that you're having. I try to recommend that if you're thinking about, is KDP Select worth it? Ultimately, you're going to be able to determine that. Are you getting plenty of sales of it on the Amazon platform? Because if you're getting plenty of sales, but you're not getting too many page flips, you're only getting 500, then I'd say it's about time you may want to look at the other avenues I'm going to discuss here. Good metric. I'm just going to throw it out here randomly, 10,000 to 100,000 page flips in a given day. If you're starting to get that, it's substantially boosting your bestseller rank. And you probably would be doing yourself a great disservice if you took it out of KDP Select to go onto the other platforms. Nice thing is, if you do end up publishing wide, you can always delist on those platforms and come back to the safety of KDP Select. We're not going to talk about that today. It's a little bit more in depth. So here are some examples of Amazon alternative publishers. And it's going to start out with Apple Books, Barnes & Noble Press, Kobo, Google Play Books. This is what I call the big four. These particular avenues are probably the main competitors with KDP, especially Apple Books and Google Play Books for sure. And Kobo is definitely starting to inch their way into the lead because of their recent partnership with Walmart.com. Those are the top four. So if you're thinking about going wide, you can go directly to each one of these platforms. The next one's going to be aggregate publishers. I talk about aggregate publishers because I'm the type of person that honestly, I just don't have time to be going out to 50,000 different websites, putting my ebook onto them. I would much rather sacrifice some of my earnings to have someone else do it for me. So Ingram Spark goes at the top of this list. I brought them up on a couple of occasions. I personally don't upload to them only because I utilize these other avenues of Drafted Digital, PublishDrive, and Smashwords. Beware again of overlap. Don't duplicate publish. So this means that if you're utilizing, let's say, Smashwords to distribute your ebook, they're already putting it to Apple Books. You're going to need to deselect Apple Books on Drafted Digital and PublishDrive if you utilize those avenues. Double check those things before you fire it off. All right, so we got the ebooks. Let's talk about print books. Super simple. It's a free-for-all, folks. It is, you can go buck wild at this point. There really is, to my knowledge, no exclusivity contract for print-on-demand distributors. My good go-tos are KDP and Ingram Spark. You kind of heard me talk about it a little bit again before, but I'm going to go ahead and come back to the well on this one. If you really want to see the widest distribution and get the most profit margin utilizing KDP print, don't utilize expanded distribution because expanded distribution is fulfilled through Ingram Content Group. So let's go over here to Ingram Spark. Utilize them to get that avenue. You're going to get more of that profit coming back. They have really good print, by the way, print books. And I've actually done that in self-published book unboxing. Links inside the description down below. Utilize your own ISBN if you can, if you're going to use those two avenues. That way you can really maximize the most out of the brick and mortar distribution you'll get through Ingram Spark. That's a nice little thing right there. A good friend of the channel, Julie Broad, really swears by having that. And check out Book Launchers, by the way, folks. Great channel. So examples of POD pubs, as I would say, you got Ingram Spark. Folks, fair warning, upload fees. They do have a $49 upload fee, and if you want to update any files, it's an additional $25. If you join Alliance of Independent Authors, by the way, you will find that there is far less issues because they waive the fees for Ingram Spark. The other one's going to be Lulu.com. Lulu, actually, I've kind of dabbled with them just for a little bit, and I have found their products are great. I really like their print quality. The biggest issue I foresee is you have to kind of drive traffic towards their website if you want to get, the most royalties possible. Barnes & Noble Press, another one, excellent print quality, as I've covered inside the self-published book and unboxing series, but their limitation is the US distribution, nothing outside of that. Soon to come. Actually, it was about December this past year. I had the CEO of PublishDrive, Kinga Gentetics. She came on here. She last minute interview with me. My boy Adam Woods couldn't make it because he was stuck en route. heading home on a flight. So Kinga came on, and she actually, I asked the question about getting print on demand. Unfortunately, it's not coming along as quickly as everybody would like it to, but it's probably going to fall in place just as it should. And then draft to digital, some of you actually have beta access right now. Someone asked me, how is this work out, and blah, blah, blah. Well, draft to digital hasn't given me beta access to the print on demand option for draft to digital. So what gives D to D, you know? So those are soon to come. Keep your eyes and ears open. I'm going to definitely report back to you when I hear of these two distributors using that. That will be a game changer when draft to digital and PublishDrive offer this, because everybody's looking for alternatives, and it's great to have options as a self-published author these days. Okay, so let's talk audiobooks. This is really cool. This is a lot of fun. I've already said this so many times that audiobooks are on the rise. And I think it was about 2 episodes ago that I'd shared, I think it was 25% increase this past year. And the year before that, it was 35%, 2 years in a row. So this continues to grow, and hopefully you're starting to do that within your portfolio. Now, as some of you are aware, Audiobook Creation Exchange is an Amazon-owned company. How do we get off of that? How do we spread ourselves wider? How do we get just away from ACX? The ACX has good reach. It has Audible, Amazon, and iTunes. Not bad, okay? But what if we want to get into libraries? What if we want to do other things? Here's the deal. If you're using ACX, they have 2 options when it comes to percentage. You have either the 40% for exclusive distribution on ACX, and this includes anybody that's done a 50-50 royalty split. So if you've done a 50-50 royalty split, you're stuck. For the next 7 years, you are stuck on that platform. It's got to be 40%. You can't spread out. Sorry, this conversation of going out is not going to be really applicable until your contract is up or you somehow manage to finagle yourself out of that. In that event, you'd have to get a hold of support over there. The other one is 25%. That actually allows you to publish elsewhere. And you can probably think about other options. And when it comes to audiobook options, there are 2 of them that are right off the top of my head. One of them is Authors Republic, and the other one is Findaway Voices. Now, Findaway Voices just started about 2 years ago, but they are really starting to gain traction. In fact, I actually had a conversation with one of the gentlemen up at the Findaway Voices headquarters about yesterday, and they've got a lot of really cool things on the horizon. They had just announced about a month or 2 ago that they're looking into doing the royalty split option on their platform. And right now they're just kind of gathering together the narrators that were going to agree to something like this. So when they do that, that's going to be an awesome alternative ACX. And here's the big bonus is when utilizing Findaway Voices, you still get the same distribution that you would to ACX. And you ready for this? You have across all of their various avenues, you're getting 80%. Let me repeat that, 80% royalty. Authors Republic, if I recall off the top of my head, correct me if I'm wrong, it's 70% on theirs. Both exemplary in my opinion. So it would behoove you to look into this avenue. Findaway Voices is definitely worth considering. All right, so in any event, you know, it is that time. It's time for the bonus tip. All righty. Big flashy screen just indicates that, yeah, it's time for that bonus tip. All right, so some of you probably are aware of the Alliance of Independent Authors. They actually have something really cool. Believe it or not, folks, everybody comes to this channel and they kind of go, man, you know so much stuff. I haven't scratched the surface in which the world that they have built over on Ally through the Watchdog Services list. It is hundreds, if not thousands of services vetted for publishing, and they have a very stringent policy. It's not like anybody goes over and greases their palm. They're a nonprofit organization, and what they've done is they go through all of these different platforms. There's some I've never even heard of. I look at it and it has the green sticker on it. Awesome, it's great. So let me just go ahead and I'll switch over here to screen, and we're gonna go and look at their website. So I share this. By the way, Ally's not paying me to say any of this at all. They have service ratings. What you can do is you can scroll down. It's based on excellent. They're a partner member, recommended, mixed, caution, and watchdog advisory. So if you're ever curious about a specific company, let's just say, for instance, we'll type up Ingram Spark. Let's see how this one pulls up. Okay. It's going really slow. Nonetheless, you get the idea. You can choose a service category of some sort. I'm looking for printing. There we go. Maybe I'll pull this up. Okay. We'll go ahead and hit refresh on this one. You get the idea in that they have all this stuff laid out. There is, hundreds upon hundreds of selections here that you can scroll through, take a look at, and you'll just be amazed at what they have to offer here. I definitely highly recommend you take a look at that. All you got to do is visit just this quick link, dalelinks.com/watchdog. Again, that's dalelinks.com/watchdog. I get zero benefit from this. So if it's new to you, put hashtag new to me inside the comments. In the meantime, hey, while we're talking about publishing away from Amazon, I think it's important that we take a look at some of these other avenues that I was just talking about. So I'm going to send you over into this video playlist series about publishing away from Amazon. Till then, I'll see you there.